Hello viewers, my name is Chase Clover, and this is my review on the September 24th, 2014 edition of USW Wednesday Night Intensity. This is Intensity number 89. I believe next week we will be having that, voting. I believe next week we'll have voting, or at least I'm sorry, I was distracted. I believe next week that USW will put out some kind of poll or whatever, and they will be voting for, Performer of the Year, Match of the Year, and that will probably take place at Intensity number 100, which will be in, apparently, 11 weeks from now. I put this video out yesterday because I just didn't want to. But I'm putting it out now because I do this every week, and I kind of have to. I have to motivate myself to do it at some point. And this is the go home show to Tap Out 2014. Decent show. The matches were alright. There were some things that were different. All in all, it was an okay show. It was decent. Moderate, if you may call it, but it wasn't a bad show, so it's not like the go home show was like awful and lost hype towards the pay-per-view, because it didn't really gain hype or make hype towards the pay-per-view, but it also didn't lose hype. So think of it as you may, but just hear this review, or if you watched it last night, then you have your own opinions. Leave your own opinions in the comment suggestion box below. And last night there were 7 matches, and apparently one match that was supposed to happen but got cancelled for some reason. I mean, storyline wise, but whatever. We'll just get into the review now. So we open up the show with Capital coming out with the USW World Heavyweight Championship and telling Seth that he should be coming out to the ring, shake his hand like a man, and then go into the pay-per-view this Sunday and have a good match. Good, clean fight. So Seth does it, and they shake hands after Seth talks a little bit about Capital and about, the champion that he is, and Capital ends up attacking Seth. So Seth gets thrown over the top rope. Capital just starts beating him down at ringside, and then he takes him into the backstage area, and throughout the night we get little snippets of what's going on in the back, as the night progresses. So after that was the first match on the card, and it was James and Simon Saint teaming up to defeat Tom and Chris Ross and Philip Akron. James and Simon Saint make a pretty good high-flying team, and Chris Ross and Philip Akron are 2 tall guys, so they kind of bring the strength into the match. So it's more like a high-flyer versus stay-on-the-ground guys. James and Simon Saint pulled it out after this tag team move where James got tagged in, kicked Chris Ross off the apron. Philip Akron was getting up, so he hit the neck breaker on him. Simon Saint hit an elbow, and then James hit a backflip onto Philip Akron, covered him for the win, and James and Simon Saint win, which means that James and, I believe, Chris Ross, that match, James will have the upper hand, and Simon Saint will have the upper hand in his match against Philip Akron Sunday. So, it was an okay match, not gonna lie. It was a little slow to start, but as the match went on, it started to progress, and Philip Akron and Chris Ross did fight pretty well. They did get a lot of moves in on James and Simon Saint that made it look like James and Simon Saint, whichever one was in the match, was pretty much down for the count. And I like that. I enjoy that. And Ross and Akron just fell short. After that, I believe it was in the backstage area, they were having Western Light and Majigita talk about the pay-per-view this Sunday, and about how they were planning on getting retribution on Fernandez and Gringo by doing something to interrupt the over-the-top 20-man top rope match. So it looks like they're going to be plotting something for top rope. I don't know how this is going to work out because, I mean, they're scripted to interfere in a match that you have no control of who wins. So it's not like they can say, well, they get distracted and they get thrown off the top rope and they get eliminated, because it doesn't work that way. So it'll just be interesting to see. And that brings us to the second match on the night, which was Western Light with Margigeta in his corner, defeating Gringo with Fernandez in his corner. It was an alright match, very slow through for the main part, but towards the end it picked up just a little bit. Western Light won off the lantern and then pinned Gringo for the win. Fernandez tried to get involved, and Margigeta interfered with or intercepted Fernandez's attempted attack on Western Light by clotheslining him with the decapitator clothesline that he does as his finisher, and pretty much send the message that they're the strong ones heading into the top rope pay-per-view, even though they're not really going to be competing. Then the third match on the card was Ezra and Kills with Benny Franklin in his corner, defeating Prophecy with Cannon in his corner. They did not win in clean fashion. Throughout the match, Prophecy was taking control of Ezra and Kills, and Benny Franklin ended up intercepting or interfering in the match multiple times. Ended up getting thrown out of ringside, and so he had to go to the backstage area because the ref threw him out. And that caused Ezra and Kills to get distracted. Prophecy went for a kick, or one of his finishing moves is like a backflip kick to the face, and Ezra and Kills moved out of the way. Prophecy landed pretty much backflipped, and Ezra and Kills went and did that sleeper hold that he puts in, and Prophecy tapped out. Cannon tried to run to the ring to keep Prophecy from tapping out, but to no prevail, as Ezra and Kills, and very smartly, runs out of the ring, grabs the title belts, and goes backstage, as Benny Franklin pretty much didn't even make it to the ramp. So, I don't know what this hype was about, because they are not going to be having a match at the pay-per-view, so we'll just find out what happens at the pay-per-view, considering there are a lot of matches that could have happened at the pay-per-view, but cannot happen now because I'm sorry, but cannot happen now because there are some performers that are in the rivalry and the feud and the storyline, but are in the top rope match, so that kind of ruins the participation of an actual match. So, we'll just see where it goes from there. Fourth match on the card was Ash and MC4 teaming up to defeat Anarchy and Titanfall. So, Extreme Champion and... Oh no, I'm sorry, not Extreme Champion. I guess what looks to be Blue Belt Champion and Actually, I don't know. I mean, I know the Blue Belt rivalry with Ash and Anarchy is going on, but I don't know what's with Titanfall and MC4. I don't know why that wasn't with Crimson Red. But, whatever. Anyway, Ash and MC4 pick up the win over Anarchy and Titanfall. They won clean. They won fair. MC4 ended up picking up the victory over Anarchy after hitting, I think it was his finishing move, I believe. And then Titanfall, thinking that Anarchy would kick out, stood on the ropes and ended up watching Anarchy get counted down for the 3 count. And Ashton MC4 picked up the victory as Titanfall walked backstage with the Extreme title. After that was a little bit of a snippet of the of Seth being, I don't know how to describe it. Seth was dragged to the parking lot or whatever and locked in a car. Not in a trunk, but, he threw him in a car and locked the doors. Don't know why Seth wouldn't just unlock the doors and walk out, but don't listen to me, I'm not the creative team. but Capital throws Seth in his car and locks him in. That's that. We go to the fifth match, which was CED and ED teaming up to defeat TJ and Wheelball. I'm not sure whether or not CED and ED are faces or heels. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm not sure whether or not CED and ED are a tag team, or I'm sorry, not a tag team, are faces or are heels, and I don't know really what to expect with this tag team, because it's not like they are supposed to be in like a championship picture. So if they were in a championship picture, I could understand where they'd be expected to be. They would be, fighting for the tag team championships, but now I don't know, because it seems to me that TJ and Wheelball are in a rivalry with Chain Reaction and Indigo Child. And it seems to me that Cannon and Prophecy are in a rivalry with Benny Franklin and Ezra Kills. So I don't think that leaves any other tag teams besides Dwayne Porter and Switchblade, or Blade and Dustin Raymond, for CED and ED to face. Maybe Fernandez and Gringo, but they're in a rivalry with Marcia Guetta and Western Light. And that's pretty much all I know. But CED and ED pick up the victory over TJ and Wheelball. I think CED hit his leg drop and covered TJ for the win. And that, whatever. They move on as Seth is trying to break his way out of the car, but could not do it, or whatever. I'm sitting there thinking, why not just fucking unlock the door, you asshole, you idiot, and a bunch of other words that I cannot repeat, but, they cut back to the ring where the sixth match on the card is Yo-Yo Joe defeating Derek Carter. Derek Carter defeated Yo-Yo Joe last week for a shot at the USW Championship at Top Rope. Yo-Yo Joe ended up picking up the win over Derek Carter this week, I guess after Derek Carter attacked Yo-Yo Joe after the match last week. So Yo-Yo Joe, I guess, wanted revenge, and he ended up picking the victory up over Derek Carter. I'm not sure if they're trying to sense something like, considering you do kind of, I guess, want Yo-Yo Joe to be involved in a storyline, because he is one of your biggest performers, I guess. But I'm guessing that USW is pretty confident in Derek Carter losing to Zach Hardy this Sunday. Zach Hardy as well, not in attendance last night. But I think they're sold on Derek Carter losing to Zach Hardy on Sunday. And I guess starting a feud with Yo-Yo Joe because of their storyline last week, possibly starting after Derek Carter attacked Yo-Yo Joe, kind of builds up maybe going into the next few weeks. Is it possible that Derek Carter could lose to Zach Hardy because Yo-Yo Joe tries to get involved? Maybe. Yo-Yo Joe cost Derek Carter the championship, and Derek Carter wants revenge. That could work out. But then again, we'd have to see if Derek Carter will lose to Zach Hardy. Because if he doesn't, then they'll have to put that on hold if that's what they're trying to go with. But anyway, as we move on, and Yo-Yo Joe won after a roll-up, after Derek Carter missed his super kick, and Yo-Yo Joe went for this impromptu roll-up, and picked up the victory. Nothing after that, and then the seventh match after that, I guess, is the main event. Top rope qualifying match, Battle Royal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people involved in this Battle Royal. It was DHIG, Bulletproof Series winner, defeating Brandon Stickler, D-Dog, Rain, Alex, Lane, BP Fierce, Switchblade, Dwayne Porter, and Crimson Red. One question, where the hell is the Lone Wolf? Can't we have him in one of these matches? Just one of them at least, please. Thank you very much. And, nothing much. Crimson Red had one of these spots where he did this leg drop, whereas he didn't hit him with the underneath part of his leg. He ended up hitting him with the kneecap or whatever. And by him, I mean Lane. And then Lane got thrown out by Alex. I believe the final two were DHIG and Alex. And Alex went to the top rope, lost his balance, and then miraculously held onto the top rope to the corner, as he was pretty much right away from getting eliminated, and DHIG jumped off the middle rope and did a leg drop onto his hand, that the one hand left that he was using to hold onto the top of the turnbuckle, making Alex lose his grip and hitting the floor. DHIG wins. He is now the 20th and final. My apologies, my camera went off. What I was trying to get to was DHIG defeats the other non-competitors and earns a shot to be the 20th and final man in the top rope match. And as I will now read down the list of performers in the top rope match. Alright, Fernandez, I'm sorry, my bad, let me restart. Fernandez, Gringo, Simon Saint, Bay W, Chain Reaction, JLB, George Martin, Sean Sheen, Benny Franklin, Philip Akron, Indigo Child, Marshall, Dustin Raymond, Blade, DHIG, Vicious, MC4, Anarchy, Ezra Kills, and Eli. Those are the 20 performers in the top rope match. And that's pretty much that. That's all I have to say about the top rope match. And that is what would be the main event, even though I don't know if it would be the main event coming up next or whatever. I don't know how to qualify it, but I'm not going to qualify it as the main event. So after that was a snippet as Capital was seen walk into the ring, and Capital walked to the ring and demanded that he fought Seth for the USW title, the USW World title, right then and there. Seth broke out of the car. I guess he broke out of the window. Fucking idiot, just unlock the damn door. He walked back to the ring as the match was being called. The bell never rang as Seth got a chair and started attempting to beat down Capital, and then Capital grabbed the chair and started beating down Seth. So the bell never rang, and the match never started. Capital then started beating him down with a chair, threw him over the top rope, tried to do the same thing that he did early on in the night, but instead, this time, break the announce table. Got Seth on top. Seth ended up picking up Capital and throwing him over the barricade into the fans. I'm pretty sure the fans were not hurt because there was nobody. Yeah, everybody was laughing. Nobody really looked in pain. Seth grabbed a chair as Capital was trying to get over the barricade and started smacking Capital in the back. Capital ended up falling onto the chairs at ringside, and then Seth kept picking him up and throwing him into the barricade with the chairs stood up and whatever. He then proceeded to put Capital on the announce table, grab a chair, start beating him down with it, and then get to the top rope and do one of these, leg drop, back drop, I think, whatever. They would go for a leg drop, but ended up going and landing on their opponent's stomach with their back instead of their legs. And he did that, and pretty much ended it. He got up, held the title up, and then I guess he said into the camera, "This is mine. See you Sunday." And that's what ended the match, and that's what pretty much is the cliffhanger going on to Top Rope 2014. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. That was my review on the September 24th, 2014 edition of USW Wednesday Night Intensity number 89. My Top Rope 2014 preview and prediction video will be up by Saturday. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, favorite, and subscribe for more. I'm Chase Clover, signing off.